Welcome back to Shadow of the Colossus. We're getting more story because, the game sort of ramps up its story as you get to the second half of the game and on.
I have finally played a bit of this game.
Finally, one Colossi.
Yes. This is about how much effort I put into playing Penny's Big Breakaway during that commentary.
Why do you do that? Just play more. I don't understand
I
why you
will for
put the
this
game
game.
down.
Maybe not Penny's Big Breakaway, though. It didn't grab me.
It's because you suck. Anyways. Yeah, we
Some
got
bitches
Iman
are here.
Iman and his gang of misfits going to the Forbidden Lands. They're actually really close already. I don't know how we don't get interrupted sooner. They get here right after we've already destroyed all the 16 Colossi.
They had to take a break in camp and be like, oh, he probably hasn't done anything too bad.
We haven't seen Nightfall since we've been here. So I don't know.
Yeah, this is
how
a pretty
long
short
it's
amount of
taken.
time.
Yeah. Maybe in universe he's actually destroying these colossi as fast as we are in the game. So really this is like a 5-hour excursion for Wander.
Well, can we even assume that that those guys are moving in the same time frame as us, though? What if it's showing them right before they get there?
I mean it could be, but
We can't tell the full chronology of this.
I think in that cutscene, if you pay attention, you can see the lights in the sky from the colossi you've defeated.
So what colossi have we got in this part?
Well, we're only doing 3 of them this time
Oh.
because the last one has a lot of extra story cutscenes, and it itself is a massive thing that you have to climb.
Is it the flying one?
No, the final colossi is not a flying one.
Oh wait, we're getting to the final colossi in this part?
No, I'm saying that next part we only do 1.
Oh,
We
which
have
is the
4
last
left.
one. Okay, I see.
We
I
have
see.
4 left. We're doing 3 in this part. Because the final one is so long, it'll
Gotcha.
get its own part, basically.
Okay, I'm dumb and misheard you.
But this one, we are getting to we're getting to, well, we'll see them, but
Yeah.
we're getting to another flying one, we're getting to another one of the smaller ones, and we're getting to the like gorilla looking one with a club. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
These are our
there's some
penultimate
glitching
ones.
shadows over there? In like the top left
Um,
corner on the trees.
No, it's just that it's old games, so the objects pop in, and so does the lighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just
That's kind of
the-
what Dark Souls does with its lighting. Like, there are a couple area transitions where you can literally see the lighting engine change on your character.
yeah. It's not so bad here. I think they did a good job with this because they did map out every area so that they could know where the light source would be coming from logically in certain areas.
Yeah.
Because, they can't just use real-time lighting. I guess they could have if they wanted to, but they were already pushing the PS2 pretty hard. So
Yeah, I've seen a bit of footage of this game.
yeah,
Oh boy, it's rough.
it gets like lower than 10 FPS sometimes on the original PS2.
Yeah, but back then you didn't really care.
Yeah. It didn't even matter back then, I imagine, for people playing this because,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, the spectacle of this game is
Oh, yeah.
wild.
Game cool.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That was
the
so
mountain,
good.
the little mound of, well, it's because when you raise your sword to the light, it does dim things. And I did that right as a light transition was happening.
Yeah.
So it kind of bugged things out, but the game's not perfect.
It's a pretty good looking desert, though.
Yeah.
It's like the desert in Nier Automata.
I also, between this part and last part, I did play Last Guardian, so I
this
did
is
get
the
to
one I was thinking of, by the way. The
Yeah.
flying one. Okay.
Mhm.
I've wanted to see this one for a bit. because it looks
Yeah,
like it's pretty cool.
this one's one of the just coolest ones. Both the flying ones are like humongous spectacles.
Also, Sonic Frontiers.
No. This guy's way cooler than Wyvern. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that doesn't have This doesn't have breakthrough at all.
No, but it has Godzilla composer orchestrated music, so
Yeah, that was pretty cool to find out.
yeah. Yeah. But like I was saying, I actually beat Last Guardian for the first time between last part and this part. So I finally got to watch that Liam Triforce video. And in it, he talks about the fact that Ueda doesn't actually really think of the general history of a world that he creates. He just wants to make cool worlds.
Yeah.
So there's so much like fan discussion about this desert because there's weird rings and stuff in it and like other kinds of stone structures all over the place. And everyone's like, I wonder what this is for, like the rest of the world. When in reality, they just wanted to make like a neat looking desert area.
When can you jump up here? I saw you were waiting for a bit.
I was just so there's a thing with the climbing in this. If you try to jump up with it, right as you grab a ledge, Wanderer will not jump. He will just instead jitter on the ledge you're currently holding on to until you wait for a second for him to fully grab onto it, I guess. I don't know. There is definitely jank with the games here. Oh shit, barrel roll. Wee.
Do a barrel roll. I've never played Star Fox, so.
Oh my god. Play games.
I do.
You play RPGs, you nerd.
I'm playing Devil May Cry right now. And Cyberpunk.
That's not this or Star Fox, so I don't care.
I also tried out Koromon.
Oh,
that
shit.
was pretty cool.
So when he closes his fins like that, that means he's about to dive.
That's a cool tell.
So...
Oh, so you have to hop off?
I mean, you can stay on it. You'll just go rolling, like, very far.
Nope!
Aggro!
That was unfortunate.
I thought aggro just got launched. That would have been fucking awesome. If this game had, like, actual ragdoll physics, that probably would have happened.
Also, hashtag Dune. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Dune doesn't have flying worm things.
Yeah,
Probably.
it was still cool,
I don't
though.
know about the book.
Who knows? Maybe the book gets wild. I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah. So if you can't really tell what's happening here, if you hold a certain button on the controller, even if you can't see the Colossi, the camera will sort of lock on to the position of it.
Oh, it has a beak, so it's like a bird. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like a bird serpent thing. And I should say, all of these Colossi have names, but apparently they're all fan-made. Because, of course, Ueda didn't name them himself.
I feel like there were developments in... I feel like there were development names, but apparently they weren't carried over the code.
The development names are in the code, but they're like stuff like worm, monkey, horse. I think that's what they're called in the
bipedal number 4
code. Yeah.
A tower thing.
A tower thing.
A cat.
Cat dog question mark?
Cat.exe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Our fan names are better.
they are way better. But I wanted to say I do, after playing it, I've now played through it twice, The Last Guardian. I think it might actually be my my favorite of the 3 Team Ico games, surprisingly.
let the hype die down before making that statement. But we'll see how you feel when we get to it.
I mean, these games are very simple, and I've played Shadow of the Colossus a billion times, and it's one of my top 5 games ever.
Yeah, so that means you know the flaws better.
I do, but I also have done 2 playthroughs of The Last Guardian, and on my second playthrough, I definitely noticed a lot more issues, especially with Trico, getting him to do things that you want him to do. And yeah, the I don't know. I just think it's just a really good game. It's not nearly quite as repetitive as this game, because this game is just, kill Colossi, go to next Colossi, kill Colossi, go to next Colossi, which, is fine. I really love this game, as I said, but
yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
I don't want to talk about other games over this, but I really like the art style for Last Guardian.
Yeah. It's, I think if...
This one's a lot more grounded, but Last Guardian looked a lot more fantastical, which I like a lot. Eco's a good in-between, I think.
Yeah. I think if this game, if Ueda had the opportunity to make this game on a PS3 or something instead of the PS2, he might have gone for something more fantastical with it. I still think it has that fantastical vibe, but you're right, it is definitely more grounded.
Yeah, and there's nothing too crazy outside of the Colossi themselves, and even then...
And just the massive, stone structures in certain places. But other than that, it's pretty tame.
No, but you'd be surprised on what massive stone structures like that you can find across the world. There's some really cool ruins out there.
Yeah, but we were talking about that, dam last part, and it was, so massive that... It would,
oh yeah, if it's that massive, still, but there is a bit of groundedness to it, That's what I'm getting at.
Well, that's the thing. Even in a thing that Ueda is really good at, and I think his statement about I just want to make cool levels is kind of just him being humble a little bit, because he is genuinely really fucking good at making fantastical places feel like they could be real in the moment that you're playing, everything in Eco and Last Guardian and this is all interconnected together, and you're making real physical progress through a world is what it feels like, rather than, in reality, probably Last Guardian, you are loading in new levels that you just don't see load in.
Yeah.
But it feels like you're progressing through a real place rather than level by level stuff. It feels more like a Dark Souls 1 instead of a Dark Souls 2. If that makes sense.
You haven't played either of those, so I don't want to hear it.
I haven't, but I've watched plenty of video essays on them.
Yeah, that's fair. Dark Souls 2 is country to country. And it doesn't make sense.
Oh, shit.
I can't wait till we get to see Iron Keep. The transition to that area specifically is infamous. Don't fall.
Aggro, get away! I think this is probably actually my favorite of the more intense tracks.
Yeah, this is a really good one. Mm-hmm. Especially with the sinister beginning to it before you bring him to the ground.
Yeah, they play this on both the Serpentine bosses, or all 3 of the Serpentine.
Yeah. This one's also
bosses.
really Godzilla-like.
Yeah. It is also less uplifting than the ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, I think. Yeah. But it still gives the I guess hero vibes. I don't know. It feels good when I'm climbing this thing.
Yeah.
And have that song playing. That's all I know.
And now we get the sad music to make you feel regret.
Apparently, when people were playtesting this game, They thought the sad music when you defeated a Colossi was a bug because they were always so used to having victorious music when you complete stuff in video games.
I can see this guy has the same mindset as Yoko Taro. This truly is a Nier game.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm so sorry.
Every game we're gonna do from now on, you're gonna mention Nier somehow. It's like, I get it with Sonic. We always somehow bring up Sonic. But genuinely...
What was that voice? What was that voice?
That was Mono.
Oh. That's
neat. We started hearing her voice last part. The more Colossi you defeat, the louder her voice gets on the loading screen.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, the audio's breaking there.
Yeah, that's something. I don't know if it's just the remaster, if it was also in the PS2 version. The audio does break in this game sometimes.
Yeah,
with the louder sound effects. I don't know. It might just be the limitations of the sound design on the PS2 because they had
maybe does it sound this way on the PS2 as well? I don't know. That's what I was saying. I don't know if it does, but I imagine they're already pushing the game so hard. Maybe they just have really compressed audio files for certain things. I don't know. Okay, this is probably one of my favorite Colossi in the game. Oh. As we're going to see, it is basically a one long platforming level. Oh boy.
Which you could argue the same for a lot of the Colossi, because you do have to climb these motherfuckers. But this is like the Colossi is running around really fucking pissed, and it's destroying the temple around you, and you have to like jump from pillar.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. I would also like to point out, hey, look, this is your realistic art style platformer.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? All of the Ueda games are that, and that's why they're peak.
Oh, except for Last Guardian. Last Guardian looks way more fantastical, like I said. But
yeah, but like I said before, it still feels like a real place, and you still feel like a normal like person.
I won't get to know till I can play it. You should bring over your PlayStation one day.
I was gonna say I can send you like my copy if you got like a PS4 or something.
Yeah, I can't do that. You don't have a PS4, do you?
I do have a PS4.
I'll buy it off of you.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that because it is just being used as like a Netflix box in one of my house's bedrooms at this point.
That's what my Xbox was for a while.
Yeah.
They work great for that. They really do.
One thing I want to say about the remake for PS4 for this game is these like rocky areas here get more annoying to traverse in that version because they actually add more level of detail for the rocks on the ground.
Also, it probably also you can interact with it.
Yeah, and aggro really doesn't like that.
So this is something. So this is something that the Halo 2 remake does, where in that game, because you can swap between both the new textures and the original textures, it means that none of the new textures have any form of collision, because obviously it has to be able to match with the original game. Yeah. So there's a section of the game where you can go heavily out of bounds to get one of the collectible skulls. And in the game, it's this flat hilltop in the background. But for the remaster or for the remake textures, they added a whole forest there. But you can still go up there, find the skull. But when you go up there, you just phase through everything in that forest, and it's not. It's just not there. So if you go up there to grab the skull, put it on classic graphics for a bit. It will save you a headache of trying to navigate it. But it's really funny. None of it has collision. So you can just walk through all the trees and foliage. Like, I think it's cool that it's there in the background, but because you can go up to it, it kind of ruins the magic. The Halo 2 anniversary is great, though. Go play it. We'll play Halo 2 here eventually, I swear.
It's coming. Soon, probably.
Well, no, because we still got way more near.
Soon in Valve time, I guess.
Oh boy. So
This
it's never
area
happening.
this area here is one of the ones that looks remarkably less dead in the remake. Like here there's literally dead trees and shit. In the remake the trees actually have leaves and shit.
Oh,
And there's
I
like
feel like they should have just
bushes.
been dead. Huh.
Yeah. Unless I'm misremembering, I remember though this area being like
Though
very
it is
lush when
weird
I
that there's
played
a
the
random
remake.
dead area. Because I know the area you're going to next has like woods and such and grass.
I mean,
So
it
maybe they just wanted to
looks.
make the world look a little more consistent.
I don't know. I don't know, cause like this is right next to where that big ass turtle boss was, and that was a
Mm,
very dead looking
I
area.
suppose. At least
So
there's
I
no
don't
like
know.
snow biome, just to add to the confusion.
That is something I would like to see in a future Ueda project, though. He hasn't done snow in his
As long as he
games.
doesn't have ice physics.
I don't know if he would. I don't think that because like he does that subtractive design or whatever. I don't know if he would be like, this does not add to my game. This is stupid.
Yeah,
Remove it.
Pokemon ruined ice physics for me forever because of
That's
those
quite
stupid puzzles.
yeah. We were talking about it in an earlier part, but the subtractive design is definitely a large reason why they removed many of the 48 colossi that were originally
Yeah,
planned. Because like that big spider one that I talked about that was next to the bridge, you were supposed to fight it by riding on Agro's back and slashing at its legs with your sword. But he said that the boss itself did not. He said in an interview the boss itself did not uh, necessitate them needing to make
yeah.
a sword swinging on horseback animation. So they completely axed the boss for that, which, yeah, understandable.
Um,
Um,
I mean, they went crazy with it on Eco, but you can tell they really did tone it back here because like all the extra stuff in this game is insane. Like
yeah.
if this was the same mindset that went into Eco, like this game wouldn't have a fucking parachute.
Yeah, it wouldn't have a parachute, all these extra cosmetics or secret unlockable weapons. It wouldn't have
You
any of
probably
that.
wouldn't be able to climb up the entire way to the tower.
Yeah. Yeah. All the stuff that, of the main core gameplay, though, is here to make the act of discovering and fighting the Colossi, you know, the main point. So,
Yeah.
and that's, the entire idea behind his design. And I made it sound like I was ungrateful and wish there were more Colossi in this game, but, I do find Ueda's design mentality to be very interesting and definitely the reason why these games are as good as they are.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's like that
so
mindset kind of sucks when you take stuff out, but at the same time, it's kept it from adding in a lot of extra stuff. You know, something that other developers, like a certain hedgehog making team, should learn from.
yeah,
What?
that I think. Yeah, I think Sonic would absolutely benefit from a more subtractive design mentality. Not all the way with it, but like there's so many of the like weird offshoot Sonic games that have different gameplay where if they just went a little further with it and made it more of its own thing rather than trying to shoehorn in normal quote unquote 3D Sonic stuff, it would have
Uh-huh.
been better. Like Secret Rings is the big example of that. Like that game would be so much better if they didn't have you have to walk backwards and kill a bunch of enemies in a room to open a door and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like Sonic Heroes, once you can mitigate it, it's a non-issue.
Yeah. One thing though that Ueda does that I don't think a lot of other creative directors do is he like creates these like target animations that basically show the team that he's working with his vision for a particular game in a condensed little animation.
That's pretty cool.
And
Pretty cool way to use past skills because I think he started as an animator for a lot of stuff
yeah,
before.
yeah, and that's why his games also focus really heavily on animation, as we talked about before. But like yeah, these like concept animations uh are really fucking good at keeping like the development team on track with his vision so he doesn't have to keep correcting everyone all the time.
Yeah.
It's basically just everyone is on the same page at all times. Uh and especially with the Last Guardian animation, that animation looks near identical to the final game. Like it's crazy. Like
Do you
they
think he's
he
probably a little too micromanagey though?
I don't know about micromanaging. I think he does a great job at just keeping his vision as the center focal point of his games.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think I think if he didn't uh keep his, vision as the main priority as much, these games definitely would not be the games that they are,
Yeah.
because you'd get a bunch of different people uh, doing different things. But like that's why he has those concept animations, is so he doesn't even have to really do that. He makes the animation, and everyone has a really good idea of what they need to be making.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even need to like actively do that with people. Though I heard with Last Guardian, he was more one-on-one with each of the developers as they were making the game.
Well,
And
with
maybe
its
that's
development hell, yeah, I can understand that.
yeah.
Hopefully, he's learned a lot from that.
I did learn more about that. Apparently that was more because of Sony than anything. Because like he in interviews had said that the PS3 version of the game basically it achieved his vision is what he said. But Sony wasn't happy with the performance. So they wanted to like bring on Santa Monica to improve the performance of the game for PS3.
Yeah.
But then they were like, this isn't really worth it because in a year or two we're going to have a PS4.
Yeah.
So
I kind of understand that because a big issue with the PS2 version of this game is its performance. And
yeah.
back then, you could get away with it more, I think. And this was right at the time when performance was a really big talking
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see it, but it is disappointing to see.
Mm-hmm.
Though, to be fair, on Sony's part, the game probably would have been heavily derided if it had poor performance.
Yeah. I think it was a good call ultimately. Even though it probably caused, more of the backlash that the game received in comparison
It
to
just
Shadow
kind
of
of
the
makes me
Colossus.
wish that the team was a little bigger to have like a second team making something. Because like From Software was able to learn from this. I think they'd been working on Elden Ring since like the end of Dark Souls 3. But because of
Yeah.
how long that game was taking, they were able to make Sekiro to kind of have another game out in
Yeah.
between to help keep them relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then I'm
and
guessing after Sekiro, they were like, "Oh, now we can make Armored Core 6 or something while we're still working on Elden Ring because they're insane."
yeah. I gotta wonder though, like obviously I would never be able to guess what they're making for the next game, but it's in 2 years it'll be as long as the whole development of Last Guardian was.
Since Last
So
Guardian came out, oh my goodness.
yeah, Last Guardian started development in 2007 and it released in 2016. So that's 9 years. It has been 7 since Last Guardian.
Shoot, oh my goodness.
And there, other than small little teaser images, there has been absolutely no news on the next Fumito Ueda game. So
I wonder if there's been issues with finding publishers and stuff since they're no longer with Sony. And
yeah,
maybe
I
there's
mean,
complications in developing for other systems.
I think they announced in 2021 is when they partnered with Epic to publish the game.
Oh.
But Epic, the deal, like they laid it out fully for us. The in this
That's
deal,
unfortunate.
Epic is just publishing the game, but Gen Design gets to keep the rights to the actual game itself. So it's not like they're selling their soul to Epic. Ah, shit.
Oh, shit. That was really unfortunate.
I really feel like I should be dead from that, but this game is very forgiving on losing health.
Yeah. I wonder how hard older builds of this game were.
Yeah, they probably were just like... That might have been like one of their subtractive design things. Like maybe they were like, this game doesn't really... The idea of killing Colossi doesn't benefit from it being super hard. We already have the fact that it's really a struggle to climb these things. So maybe, I don't know.
Well, not everything has to be like Devil May Cry, where you get badass cutscenes of a character, and instead of the game just letting you be that character, you have to earn the right to be that character in the gameplay, you know?
Yeah.
This game doesn't really need that, because everything is in the gameplay, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, it's not going for that cool factor for its character. Wanderer's not a cool person.
Well, I mean, Ueda himself, when he compares like Eco and Wander, he's like, when you compare the two, Wander is quite cool.
Well, then maybe I should just shut my mouth.
I think he thinks Wander's cool, and I think Wander, he talks the talk, at least at the beginning, and then he walks the walk by killing these things. So I don't know. I feel like you have to be a pretty, strong-willed person to be able to kill these creatures.
Yeah.
Because I know I couldn't.
Why do you need the sword here?
Well, he's not charging the pillar, so I'm confused.
Huh.
He's just like, oh shit. So my plan
what is
here,
his trigger?
I don't know. I just dropped down and he started moving, so now I'll climb back up.
I suppose. Can you knock it down while you're still climbing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did on the first pillar, but that activates like a cutscene.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is straight platforming because this is the only Colossi that they thought to fully armor.
Yeah. I think this might be one of my favorite Colossi battle themes. I like this one a lot.
It's really good. But
very movie score-esque.
I don't know what this thing is supposed to be though. If it's like a pig.
That's my guess. Some kind of boar.
Yeah. And the music like picks up in intensity when the pillar starts falling. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Especially this section's great.
Yeah, in general, if you're closer to the Colossi itself, the music will be louder.
Okay.
Which I find a nice little detail.
Yeah.
But it can get distracting if the thing is chasing you, but it's just slightly too far away for the music to be nice and
yeah.
loud. F you.
The detail in this game is just so absurd.
Like I said, Ueda, I think he humbles himself by saying stuff like, I just want to make cool levels.
Yeah, I gotta do what I can to play Last Guardian. I really want to try it out. I feel like I'd like it a lot.
It is quite good.
I'll probably finish Eco whenever I record it.
Yeah, my biggest tip for Last Guardian is just have patience, and you'll really like it.
Yeah, I've seen enough jank with Trico.
Yeah. It's not any more jank than dealing with like the Colossi in this.
It's just that this was on a PS2.
Yeah.
Last Guardian was on a PS4.
Well, even still, I think Trico behaves more realistically and more like how you'd expect him to than any of the Colossi do.
Okay.
Like, the Colossi are very manipulatable.
True,
with their AI.
Think about it like this: in some of the older some older RTS games, like people have trouble with units not doing exactly what they told them to do because AIs kind of bug out, and some people, kind of like it for roleplay, you know. Not all your armies are going to do everything perfectly. But at the same time, for game design, especially for competitive things, it is really annoying when the game just doesn't work in your favor. Because at a certain point, you do need to get a move on.
But
there's like a fine line between what is pretty cool and artistic and realistic for that, and for the sake of necessity to get a move on, you just have to go, you know?
Yeah,
to
but
keep the player engaged.
Really, though, it wouldn't be the game that it is without Trico, you know, not listening to you sometimes.
Right.
Because, like, I don't want to...
Which is why it's insane that these could be, you know, big published games, and not indie games. These, in all rights, should be indie games.
Yeah, I think... I don't know. I think, like, Ueda's design does deserve, you know, the backing it gets.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, a budget and whatnot. But, you know, I would also say a lot of similar things about, you know, indie developers that I really like, so. But, yeah, like, I know you watched the Liam Triforce video. The entire point of Last Guardian is building the relationship with Trico, and it would not feel like a real companionship if he just did what you wanted him to at all times.
Right. He's supposed to emulate an animal.
Yeah, and
which is cool, but there is a certain point where you gotta necessitate gameplay.
Yeah, and guess what? If you're, you know, better about rewarding Trico for his behavior, he acts better for you.
So, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, nobody talks about that because either nobody finishes the game when they play it and complain about it, or they just, you know, don't know, or they don't bother. They just want to get a move on, you know, when they're playing. God, this song is so good.
I do like how this is one of the few areas without any more melancholic tracks because of how aggressive he is towards you.
Yeah,
so they go all in on the epicness. Yeah. Normally you'll have something, but I don't think I like here how it kind of has a consistent tone all the way until probably the end when it gets sad.
And this I love.
Oh, yep, it got sad.
Yeah, I love when songs like that add in like a chorus to ramp up the intensity, and that's exactly what they did there.
Like Nier Automata.
Oh, fuck off. Please. We're playing better games right now.
Actually, also Sonic Frontiers. Specifically in the last boss. Because that one actually has music that progresses throughout the fight. Versus all the other fights, which the music only progresses in cutscenes.
Does the music progress in the end fight?
Yes. You start out, the first phase of Supreme, it plays the original version of I'm Here. Then when you start it, it plays the orchestral version of I'm Here. And when you get to and once you have side looped the gun and you have to start charging up the gun, it then plays the full new version with
okay, you were talking
Sleeping
about
with Sirens guy.
Update 3.
What's his name?
Kellen Quinn.
Yeah, that guy. My bad. When it kicks into his version.
Yeah, I gotcha. I thought you were talking about the standard final boss.
Oh, well, that one does progress, but that's because they can control how the fight goes, so the song just plays out normally.
Yeah, the song, it's just the song as it normally is. You know?
Yeah.
It's not like a dynamic thing. But
it works so well for the fight.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Sonic anymore. I just love that fight. Anyways.
Fun fact, they added this pillar over Mono so that the player couldn't just walk on top of her and ruin the scene.
That is incredibly smart because I would have done it.
Well, they could have done that with an invisible wall.
Go on top of her and start teabagging her.
They could have done that with an invisible wall, but Ueda himself said, I think invisible walls are stupid, and they don't convey themselves well. So
Yeah, Sonic Team.
Yeah. Friggin' Wander's voice is all over the place in this. I don't know if you noticed. Sometimes he sounds like really cool and deep, and sometimes he's like, "Hello."
Yeah, they could have also had like a light graphical effect around her as like a mystical barrier that's like protecting her while Dorman's bringing her soul back. Could have also been that.
I guess. See,
Uh,
I don't think. I think the point though is that Wander never gets to experience the fruits of his labor. So,
yeah.
if it showed like any sort of effect, he would be like, "Ah, yes, this is what I should be doing." But meanwhile, what actually happens is like he's not even sure if Mana will actually come back to life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, he's
but
desperate.
he's doing it anyways because he's really desperate. Yeah.
I. Oh wait, I know which one's next. I
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I know which
the
one's
last of
next.
the three that I listed earlier.
The last bipedal.
Well, no,
Oh, he's not bipedal.
no,
Okay.
the final boss is also bipedal.
Oh.
Technically, it just doesn't move.
Oh. Okay. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Nier Automata.
No. This over here is like one of the coolest areas in the game for me though, because
It's
like you
open and
never,
empty.
well, no, when you get to it, you fucker. Because like obviously you have no reason to go over here, and you might see part of it from the distance, but you come over this like you come into this corner of the desert, and there's just this fucking big ass castle over here
Yeah.
that you didn't know about, and you can't even, yeah, you can only really see the tops of it because of the sand dunes, but it's quite a large structure, and
This
I
is the
like
remnants of Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings, where the
I like
Rohirrim made their last stand against Saruman's army.
whatever that is.
Go watch Lord of the Rings.
Also, I don't know if you saw, but I was able to see where the lizard was because it popped in before the bushes. Get him! Fuck him up! No, the rock collision!
Alright, if you're going to make... Fuck this subtractor design. If you're going to make the bow essential, make the aiming better, please.
It's not even the aiming, it's just the fact that, old
Wanderer
game.
just a snap to the camera.
No. Why would he need that? That's too easy.
I suppose.
We were talking about the fact that they didn't add the spider Colossus in because they would have to make a sword on horseback animation. Sword swinging on horseback animation. Whoa. But they have a Colossus where you need to ride on Agro's back and shoot your bow. Which I guess you can do in other fights, but it's necessary only for one of them. So I don't know.
Well, I think it's also just to give the option.
Well, I want to swing my damn sword on horse.
Well,
Wait,
he's
it
an
wasn't
archer.
thinking
Well,
of
he's an
me.
archer, not a swordsman. He's not good with a sword.
Well, then why can I hold the sword out on the horse?
Well, that's just grip. That's not swinging it. There's no art to that. That's just grip. And we know this guy has has an ungodly grip
Dude,
strength. So
all of the Ueda protagonists do. Also, the little boy in fucking The Last Guardian is the bravest child in existence. Because everything he has to do is like climbing across these massive chasms in that game.
you thought it was terrifying in Eco when you were on that windmill. Well, guess what?
Yeah,
It's
that
the
windmill
whole
that's
game,
like
baby.
the windmill that's like 10 feet tall.
Doesn't it like take you over the edge of a bottomless pit, or am I thinking of something else?
No, but there are parts in that game where you are climbing along the castle's side above a like massive cliff.
Mm.
So, but like in Eco, you're in the fucking valley, and all of the structures are randomly the tallest things in existence.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's all I could think of playing that game. You know, one thing that doesn't really get talked about as much with these games is the like standard ambient audio design. Um, and I think uh, it really helps sell these worlds. You know, it they do a good job with the immersion, I think. Because I was talking about earlier how you kind of feel like these places could be real while in the moment while you're playing them, even though they're these like weird fantasy, places that clearly don't actually exist.
Yeah.
But like the audio design in these games is like excellent. I don't know. You always I don't know. Well, you haven't really played them that much, but I always get super immersed playing these games.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
We're almost there. We're almost there. Then what's something to talk about again?
I like. I've said ad nauseum. I love the world here. I kind of wish.
Oh, hey,
that...
look, boss arena.
Yeah, I wonder what this is for. But I kind of wish that a lot more of these lead ups to the fights were like better platforming challenges.
Oh, kind of like the first arena.
Yeah, the first arena and kind of the one we just fought. But that was the whole fight was the platforming. But yeah, I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a. I don't know. I mean, I get it. It doesn't really necessarily add to the point of the game, but I don't know. I think it's jank, but there's a weirdly satisfying weight to the physics in this game.
Yeah.
So I'd like to use that more outside of climbing Colossi and stuff. But the Colossi are the point.
Uh-huh.
And this guy is fucking cool.
I'm kind of surprised he's not the cover art, but I guess he's too late game to have him as cover art.
Yeah, they really just have, I think the first Colossi's name is Valis, the fan name. Yeah, they just really use him, and then for the remake they use the third Colossi, which is the guy on top of that big disc with
right. Oh, that one's also a platforming challenge to get to him.
Yeah, that's true. Though most of it is you swim and then you walk up a really long thing.
I suppose.
Fuck.
That's a pretty cool way to interact with the environment.
Yeah. I want a game like this that is just climbing kaiju.
So this.
Yes. Well, these are more like...
These are kaiju. They're smaller, but they're kaiju.
They're like chimera. They're artificial. I don't know what chimera means.
Chimera is just a mix of different species together.
That's kind of
usually like a lion, a griffin, mixed together.
I mean, couldn't that also be seen as like a kaiju?
Kaiju's just a giant monster.
Well, couldn't you have
everything is
monster?
A kaiju?
Couldn't you have a kaiju that is an amalgam of different creatures, like a chimera?
Yeah, you're the one who thought chimera was different than kaiju.
Yeah, I said I don't know what it means. Damn it, I'm trying to cheat.
But yeah, if it's a big and it's monstrous, it is a kaiju.
If it's a big.
Big the cat is a kaiju, yes.
He's more of a eldritch being, I would say.
Eldritch abomination.
Yeah. Beyond the comprehension of man. His true form we do not know. We only see him as a large cat creature.
To gaze upon his true form would cause you to go mad.
His true form is just Froggy. Big is actually like just a avatar of Froggy.
He's a creature of chaos.
Yes.
This got
here he
weird.
comes. He noticed me, so the music got loud and intense. Oh boy. Hey, fucker, I'm over here.
Look at me, damn it. He's just ignoring you as much as he can.
He's like, I'm gonna drag this out as much as possible. See, he doesn't like that you're here, but he's like, yeah, whatever. Very often. Because, like, his eyes turn back blue so much more often than the other Colossi when you aggro them.
Yeah.
It's weird. Come here, big guy. Now, am I going to land the jump?
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Stab him. Quick. No.
Ah, he's bucking.
Look at how many arrows I put into this motherfucker.
This was the real reason that frame rate always tanked. Because it would have just had to have the arrows stay in the environment.
Yeah, he couldn't let him despawn. God, even just his walking causes Wanderer to lose his grip.
He watched Halo Let's Plays of people drawing things with bullets and thought, I kind of want that.
Nah, I think his whole thing is he just wants to make things believable. You know.
While fighting giant, fantastical creatures, yes.
Yeah. Listen, if this game were exactly the way that it is, but it was like, I don't know, I'm playing as Mario climbing on giant Koopas, I don't think it would be as compelling.
Not with any of Koji Kondo's music, that's for sure. Nothing against him, he just doesn't write the kind of music you would want for this.
This is thankfully why we have many composers for Mario.
I only know Koji Kondo. I'm sorry.
Well, I can tell you, he's definitely not the only guy making the entire soundtracks for the games anymore.
I don't know. Nobuo Uematsu did it for 9 Final Fantasy games, as well as a bunch of Saga games.
I'd be very impressed if only one person did the music for Mario Odyssey. Because that's a lot of fucking music.
Not everybody's like Sonic, where they have 5 musicians at least.
Yeah. Okay, also, fuck this guy. His extra sigil is in the hand that he's holding his club with.
How are you supposed to figure that out?
You have the light sword that points out where the...
So how are you supposed to get his hand free?
Well, you'll figure it out. Because it also reveals other weak spots that you can exploit. Oh, shit!
That was unfortunate.
Wander did a fucking backflip. But yeah, see, like, you point there, and then you see that there's also a point on his elbow that maybe there's, something there that you can use. I don't know. Why am I running all the way over here?
Because you can.
I think this is just the one I used before.
You wanted to pad out the runtime so we had more watch time hours.
No, this is actually better because this is the one that I was at before, so we already dropped down the stone blocks that I used to get on top of this thing.
Okay.
I just have to let him step on this thing again.
This
is, by the way, one of the Colossi where I think in the speedrun you get launched up if you jump at the correct time when he does
Celeste.
this. Because he does, like, lever that up pretty much.
Do you ever need the dodge roll in this game?
There is exactly one spot where it's required.
Gotcha.
It is useful, though, as a mechanic, just for moving around a little quicker. Especially if a Colossi is taking a swing at you and you haven't been, getting out of the way in time.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yeah, it's pretty useful, but they make you use it in the like tutorial platforming section leading up to the first Colossi. I don't know if they make you use it anywhere else. I don't.
Oh, oh, lucky bitch.
Hey, Wander's got a pretty floaty jump, so I'm pretty
Super
confident.
Metroid. This game is Super Metroid. The Super
They
Metroid
shoulda-
of the PS2.
They should have given Wander the long jump from Mario 64.
Should have the wall jump.
The wall jump? Yes.
Just imagine him flipping up a wall.
Yeah, it'd be peak.
Okay.
I don't know if I just timed that to where Dorman gave me the hint because I was taking too long, or if he always gives you the hint when you stab the elbow.
It's definitely. I was not expecting that.
Hey, no. Stop. Don't look for me.
Just trying to give him a shake.
If you fall off, you can get him to like slam his fist down, and that's how. Yeah, because he does not want you to grab you straight from there. Ugh. Go, go, go!
Bitch.
Now I gotcha.
All he's got to do is close his hand.
You see, you can say that about the final Colossi as well.
Yeah.
But he never does.
Well, then the game wouldn't work, so.
I think the final Colossi also is just like he's got the most menacing aura around him. He can shoot fireballs at you from a distance, but once you get to him, he acts more curious than like aggressive, which is funny. Well, not funny, but you know,
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Not looking too good there, buddy.
Yeah. Maybe killing these beings that are sealing the devil is not a good idea.
but, and hear me out here, hot chick.
But what if it's... Never mind. I know what you're going to say if I say that.